This is a trading desk, not a bot, not an indicator, a desk with a macro analyst, a technical analyst, a risk manager, and a portfolio manager. Every one of them is an AI agent, and the one in the PM chair is Claude Fable 5, the most capable model Anthropic has ever let the public touch. I gave this desk a $1,000 paper account and one job: manage it for 30 days. It researches, it debates, it sizes positions, and it writes down its reasoning every single day. Today I'm going to show you how to build the entire thing. 4 agents, a paper portfolio, and a live dashboard in about an hour with 0 API keys, 0 exchange connections, and 0 money at risk. Everything you see gets built with plain English prompts inside Claude Code. The full step-by-step guide with every copy-paste prompt is free in the Alpha Cartel Discord. Link below. Let's get into it. Quick context, because the model matters here. Fable 5 launched June 9th. It's the first Mythos-class model Anthropic has ever made generally available, a tier that sits above Opus. It's state-of-the-art on nearly every benchmark they tested, and the pattern that matters for us is this. The longer and more complex the task, the bigger its lead. One more reason this model fits this project. In early testing, trading firms reported it aced their trading analysis evaluations: factual lookup, root cause analysis, expected value reasoning. That's not AI prints money. That's a model that's genuinely good at the analyst part of the job, the judgment part, which is exactly the seat we're going to put it in. Here's the design, and it's built on the same thesis this whole channel runs on. Edge doesn't come from a magic indicator. It comes from structure and discipline. So we're not asking one AI, what should I buy? We're building a process. 4 specific roles. The Macro Analyst scans the news and macro backdrop for our watch list and writes a short memo. What's the regime? What's the lean? The Technical Analyst reads the actual price data, trend, momentum, levels, and writes its own memo. Neither one talks to the other. That's deliberate. Independent views, no groupthink. The Risk Manager. Both memos go here. Its only job is to say no. It enforces hard rules: position size caps, trade frequency caps, a cash floor. Rules that live in a file, not in anyone's mood. The Portfolio Manager, Fable 5. Everything lands on this desk, which reads both memos plus the risk verdicts, weighs everything, and makes the final call: buy, trim, hold, or sit in cash. Every decision gets written to a journal with the full reasoning, and the portfolio state updates a JSON ledger that feeds a live dashboard. There is nothing exotic here, and that's the point. Anyone watching this can build it. All right, the build. Everything from here on is in the companion guide, step by step, so you can follow along without pausing the video every 10 seconds. Make an empty folder called Fable-Desk, open your terminal inside it, and launch Claude Code. If you're on a Pro or Max plan, you're already authenticated through your login. No API keys, nothing to paste, nothing to leak on stream, which, if you've been on this channel a while, you know is the only way I'll demo anything. First prompt. We tell Claude to scaffold the project. Folders for data, memos, portfolio, and dashboard, plus a portfolio.json ledger starting with $1,000 in cash and an empty positions list, and a claude.md file that explains the desk's purpose so every future session has context. 30 seconds later, the skeleton exists. Ledger says $1,000 cash, 0 positions, day 0. The desk needs eyes. We ask Claude to write a small Python script that pulls daily price history for our watch list using Y-Finance. That's free market data, no account, no key. Our watch list for the 30 days. Bitcoin, Ethereum, the S&P ETF, the NASDAQ ETF, and NVIDIA. 5 liquid names, crypto plus equities. Enough variety for the agents to actually have opinions. The script drops one clean CSV per ticker into the data folder and a snapshot file with the latest prices. Run it once and check the output. You should see real prices. That snapshot is what the desk marks positions against, and it's where paper fills happen. When the PM buys, it buys at the last close in that file. No slippage games, no pretending we have execution edge. This is a decision quality experiment, not an execution one. Now the fun part. In Claude Code, an agent is just a markdown file in a folder called .claude/agents. The top of the file is the job description, name, when to use it, which tools it's allowed to touch, and which model runs it. Everything below that is the system prompt. You are literally writing a job posting. The Macro Analyst gets web search and read-only access, nothing else. It can look at the world, but it cannot write a thing to our files. Its prompt tells it, for each watchlist name, assess the current macro and news backdrop and output a memo with a lean, bullish, bearish, or neutral, a conviction score, and 3 lines of reasoning. Probabilistic language only. It deals in odds, not certainties. The Technical Analyst is the mirror image. It gets file read access and no web search. It sees nothing but the price CSVs. Trend, momentum, recent levels, memo in the same format. Same ticker, 2 independent views, 2 different information diets. And here's a detail I love. We run both analysts on Sonnet, the cheaper, faster model. You set that with 1 line in the file. Analysts are plentiful. The expensive brain is reserved for the seat that matters. Third hire. The risk manager. Its file contains the desk rules as hard constraints. No position over 25% of the book, no more than 2 trades a day, never below 10% cash. No leverage, no shorting, paper only. Forever. Its job is to take any proposed trade and return approved or rejected with the rule that was violated. It doesn't have opinions about markets, it has opinions about rules. This is the discipline layer, and honestly, it's the most important file in the project. The analysts can be wrong, they will be wrong, and the desk survives because sizing and frequency are capped by something that doesn't feel FOMO. Last piece of the brain. The desk run command. This is a custom/command, another markdown file, that chains the whole process. When I type /desk-run, the main session, running Fable 5, does the following. Refresh the market data. Send the Macro Analyst and Technical Analyst off in parallel. Collect both memos, draft its trade intentions, pass them through the risk manager, execute whatever survives as paper fills at the last close, update the ledger, and write the day's journal entry, including what it chose not to do and why. Why does Fable 5 specifically get this seat? Because the PM job is the exact shape of task this model was built for. Long horizon, multi-document, judgment heavy. Every desk run, it's holding both analyst memos, the risk verdicts, a ledger, a rulebook, and its own prior journal entries. And it has to weigh conflicting views into one decision that's consistent with what it said yesterday. Now, we make it visible. One prompt asks Claude to build a single-file dashboard, dark theme, obviously, that reads the ledger and journal and renders 4 things. The equity curve against the $1,000 starting line, current positions with live weights, the latest memo from each agent, and the running trade journal, plus a header that tells you what day of the challenge we're on. Serve it with Python's built-in web server. 1 command, no hosting, no deployment, runs on localhost. You refresh it after each desk run, and the whole state of the experiment is 1 glance. And look, this is why I wanted a dashboard and not just log files. When the desk is down 2% and the journal says trimmed NVIDIA into strength, macro lean deteriorating, you're not watching a black box lose money. You're reading a decision process. You can disagree with it. That's the product. Moment of truth. /desk-run, day 1. Watch the sequence. Data refresh. Both analysts spin up in parallel. Memos land. Macro comes back cautious on crypto, constructive on the index names. Technical likes the Bitcoin structure but flags NVIDIA as extended. The PM drafts 2 entries. The risk manager approves both, undersize caps under the frequency cap. And the ledger updates. Day 1 on the board, 2 positions, roughly 60% deployed, 40% cash, journal entry explaining every piece of it. The desk leans careful, which, for a model managing money it can't lose, is exactly the temperament you'd want to see. From here, it's 1 command a day for 30 days. Same time, same process, no overrides from me. I'm the compliance officer, not the trader. If the desk loses money with a clean process, that's a fine result. That's information. If it makes money with a sloppy one, that's the dangerous result, and the journal is what keeps us honest about the difference. The 30-day rules, so we're honest. 1 desk run per day. I never override a decision. Paper only. This desk will never touch a real exchange, and I'd tell you not to wire yours to one either. A language model with hard-coded guardrails is a research instrument, not a licensed money manager. Nothing in this video is financial advice. It's an engineering experiment in public. And the full journal goes up in the Discord. Every entry, including the embarrassing ones. If you want to build your own desk, the complete companion guide is free in the Alpha Cartel Discord. Every prompt copy-paste ready, all 4 agent files, the desk run command, the dashboard, and the full project structure, plus a channel where people are posting their desk's day 1 decisions, which is already fascinating. Link in the description. Subscribe so you don't miss day 30. I'll see you on the desk.